Afternoon, we have the latest video update on Tropical Storm Haikui, now moving slowly away from the Japanese islands. Today is the 6th of August 2012. Here we are watching Tropical Storm Haikui, now located approximately 250 kilometers west-northwest of Okinawa, or about 560 kilometers southeast of Shanghai here in China. Maximum sustained winds have slightly increased to 110 kilometers per hour, with gusts of up to 155 according to the latest JMA analysis. Haikui is currently moving west-northwestward at 10 kilometers per hour, so again it has slowed down quite substantially compared to 24 hours ago when it was moving at 20 to 25 kilometers per hour. The system, as I said, is also intensified, and you can see in this latest visible image, storm is becoming better organized, becoming more symmetrical. The central dense overcast starting to really get itself together. We're still not seeing an eye as of yet, although the eye wall is starting to actually appear. We have this latest microwave imagery. You can see the partial scan here on the eastern side of the storm. It's really intensified in the past 12 hours, starting to wrap around the circulation. Dry air, which we have been noting in the past 2 days, has not been a problem for Haikui, although the infrared imagery still showing the convection or convective bands still some ragged as of the moment, although we're seeing that center and starting to appear more organized. On the satellite outflow remains strong, particularly on the southern side of the storm. And you can also see still some of the convection moving across the Japanese islands. We have the latest warnings from JMA, still have heavy rain and high waves warnings, and also gale and thunderstorm advisories. Cadena has now moved to storm watch from T-Core 1, which basically means that the storm is now moving away from the area, but still be on alert as hazardous conditions persist in the region, particularly mainly strong winds, because the rains have pretty much ended in this area. CMA, China Meteorological Administration, has now issued yellow warning, the second warning on their 4-tier warning system. Yellow warning basically means a tropical storm could impact the area in about 48 hours. So continue to start monitoring the system and start preparing, definitely, especially if you are along the coast of Zhejiang Province, which is the potential landfall of the system. And we have the latest radar from Okinawa showing you again the bulk of the rains have now moved offshore, though we are still seeing thunderstorms being enhanced and still part of Haikui circulation that can still drop 30 to even 50 millimeters of rain in an hour. Some of these bands could still move through across the island into the evening hours, so still keep an eye on heavy rains and pop-up thunderstorms, definitely. The southern islands here, Miyakojima and Ishikojima, also being shown here. Still those outer bands continue to move from the north, also dropping in on the islands here, potentially bringing 50 millimeters as well. Latest reports out of this region, especially in Okinawa, range from around 100 to 200 millimeters of rain in the past 24 hours. Amami and Miyakojima islands here have received somewhat less rains, around 50 to 100 millimeters, but add those figures from the rains that we've received in this region, that could amount to around 400 millimeters in some spots. So huge threat in terms of inundation and flooding in this area. But as of right now, again, much of the rains are now moving offshore, but still be on the lookout for spotted thunderstorms in the next few hours. The system continues to move westward across the Easte China Sea under the influence of the subtropical ridge. We have the latest upper air analysis and showing you this subtropical ridge is still fairly entrenched across the northeastern China, although we are seeing quite a significant shift actually across computer models in terms of forecast track in the next 3 to 5 days. Much of the models are now starting to show a recurvature, an abrupt recurvature actually, to happen in 2 days time. expecting the system to move back into the open waters as a weak tropical storm. Basically, what will happen is a trough will move in from the west, weakening this subtropical ridge and allowing our storm Haikui to move into the northeast. Basically, if this subtropical ridge remains in place, of course the system will continue to move westward. But if that subtropical ridge weakens and reorients itself towards the east, you can see the system track towards the northeast, potentially going back into the open waters. Forecasting agencies are starting to buy into that idea now. You can see the consensus takes our storm Haikui to the north, and some of them now taking this system to the northeast, potentially moving very near Shanghai by as early as Thursday evening or Friday morning. In fact, some computer models are actually suggesting a recurvature to happen in less than 24 hours. So some models are now shying away from the landfall idea and moving Haikui potentially towards South Korea and even here in Kyushu. But as of right now, the consensus still remains, and we are still expecting a landfall here in Zhejiang Province near the city of Wenzhou, roughly around 300 kilometers of Shanghai, which is located here. So the system will make landfall as a typhoon. We expect the system to continue consolidating, taking advantage of the favorable conditions in the area, making landfall in eastern China, weakening to a tropical storm as it moves potentially within 200 kilometers west of Shanghai, which is located again right over here, and starting to could turn to the northeast back into the open waters. If it does, it will be a weak tropical storm at that time. Not expected the system to reorganize and strengthen even more, but still the potential and the threat for heavy rains and strong winds still exist across the Korean peninsula and also here across Kyushu and western Honshu. So continue to keep an eye on this system, especially after it makes landfall, because by that time we will have more data coming in from the computer models. So again, just a summary, the latest forecast now putting Haikui towards a landfall along the coast of Zhejiang near Wenzhou, Zhejiang Province near the city of Wenzhou, as early as tomorrow evening, Tuesday, or early Wednesday morning. So we continue to tweak that forecast for you. Right now, if you are within this region, you need to keep an eye out and actually prepare now if you haven't done so already. Now moving to the other system, we have still continue to watch Tropical Depression 13W. JMA has actually given their final update on the system, expecting the system to transition into an extratropical low. JTWC continues to classify 13W as a tropical storm. Again, the system remains well away from any land as of right now, near about 1,000 kilometers north of Wake Island and more than 2,000 kilometers east of Japan, so no impacts expected from this storm. However, we will continue to watch the system as it moves to the north. Some models are expecting the system actually to approach the eastern coast of Honshu or perhaps Hokkaido as a weak tropical depression by early next week. So we will continue to still watch the system even though JMA has given their final update on this one. And finally, we take a look at the Western Pacific, again showing you Haikui moving east over Easte China Sea and also Tropical Depression 13W. Monsoon trough continues to weaken, although again we are still seeing this continuous effects of the southwest monsoon across the Philippines, particularly here in northern and central Luzon, including Manila. And you can see in this latest infrared image still bands of clouds moving in from the west, affecting central and southern Luzon and extending now into the Visayas area. Some very heavy rains fell across the region last night. Some areas reporting 50 to 100 millimeters of rain, inundating many areas, and also actually La Mesa Dam near Quezon City has reached spilling level at 80.15 meters, forcing more than 1,000 residents to flee their homes. Also, the river, Marikina River and Tumana River along the Metro Manila are also in critical levels. So continue to watch the news here for the latest developments in your area. Now unfortunately we continue to see this widespread light to moderate rains moving in from the West Philippine Sea, moving into the provinces of Zambales, Bataan, and actually even into Metro Manila. We are still seeing some light to moderate rains here as well, so expect probably another 50 to even 100 millimeters to fall tonight. And as I said, some of the rains are now extending south into the Bicol region here in Mindoro and also Marinduque Islands. Visayas has been relatively free and relatively drier. We are also seeing isolated thunderstorms, but not enough to really cause widespread flooding here. But again, unfortunately for Luzon, those rains could continue in the next 2 days as the southwest monsoon remains active. So we might want to keep those rain gears in the next few days there. Now finally we move on to the Atlantic Basin. We are still seeing Tropical Storm Ernesto south of Jamaica moving west-northwestward as a weak tropical storm. Could intensify still into a hurricane later this week, probably moving near Honduras in the next 24 hours. Tropical storm watches are up in that area. Still a threat to Yucatan Peninsula and possibly along the Gulf of Mexico, southern Texas, and also here along the Mexico area. Updated on this system as well by going to our affiliate 28storms.com for the latest update there. That ends our update for today. Again, continue to keep watching the system Haikui. If you are in Okinawa and the nearby islands, the storm is moving away, although still expect some rains and gusty winds to continue tonight. Conditions could and should improve starting tomorrow. If you are in China, continue to start preparing now. Continue to keep an eye on the system, going to CMA for the latest official warnings and forecast in your area. Stay safe, guys. Bye.